Everyone, welcome back to another Taekook one shot requested by Jeez Meha. I am sorry if I pronounced wrong the name. Hope you will enjoy it. It was supposed to be a perfect night. The Kim and Jian families had gathered at the Jian mansion for a quiet dinner. The lights in the house glowed soft and golden, the clicking of wine glasses and soft music filling the elegant space. Taehyung adjusted his blazer and walked down the stairs. His chest when he saw Jungkook sitting with his mother on the couch. Jungkook looked breathtaking as always, his black shirt hugging his toned arms, jaw sharp as a blade, his face unreadable as ever. Taehyung, Jungkook, do you need anything? Jungkook without looking at him. No. Cold as usual. Taehyung sighed and walked to the kitchen to help serve the drinks. He is grown used to Jungkook's coldness. They were engaged by arrangement, not love. At least not from Jungkook's side. Taehyung had loved Jungkook since the first day they met. Despite the cold words and cold glares and the silence between them, his heart kept choosing Jungkook because sometimes he saw something behind Jungkook's eyes, a flicker of care. He just didn't know how deep it ran. Later that night, a scream echoes from the hallway. Everyone rushed towards the source. Jungkook's mother private sitting room. Inside, Mrs. Jian stood, one cheek red and swelling, her eyes wide in shock, and standing near her was Taehyung. But what no one else noticed was the shadow of another figure. Jungkook's stepsister, Minso, sleeping behind the curtains with a guilt smirk on her face. Jungkook, what the heck happened? He rushed towards his mother, Mrs. Yan. It's not. But before she could finish, Minso appeared beside Jungkook, fake tears brimming in her eyes. Minso, Oppa, Taehyung slept, mother. I saw it. Taehyung, what? That's a lie. Minso, gripping Jungkook's arm, he got angry when mom told him not to interfere in family matters. Raised his hand just like that. Taehyung, Jungkook, listen to me. I would never. Jungkook was thunderous. You slapped my mother? Taehyung, no, I didn't. It was Minso. Minso, are you seriously blaming me? Taehyung, because it was you. You slapped her after she called out your boyfriend for stealing company funds. I was just there. I didn't touch her. Jungkook's eyes blazed. Jungkook, my mom is standing there with a swollen cheek, crying, and you are spinning stories? Then why would I slap her, Jungkook? I love her like my own. Jungkook, cold and sharp, get out. Then what? Jungkook, crawling, get out of my house now. Mrs. Yan weakly, Jungkook, listen. But before she could continue, her body swelled and she collapsed. Taehyung, Emma! He rushed forward, but Jungkook shoved him back. Jungkook, don't touch her. Taehyung stepped away, hands trembling. The doctor was called. The servants helped Mrs. Yan to her room, and Jungkook stood in the hallway, his eyes full of cold fire, arms crossed. Jungkook, your bags, I want them packed. Leave tonight. It was midnight, rain poured like a curse from the sky as Taehyung stepped outside the mansion gate. A small suitcase in his hand, short strange hair sticking to his forehead. The guard looked at him with pity but said nothing. His phone was dead. He had no umbrella, no cab. He stopped in the storm. So he walked with every step. Pain bloomed in his chest. He hadn't done anything. He had protected Minso before for Jungkook's sake, and now she used it to destroy him. His shoes soaked, his lips trembling. He whispered into the night, Taehyung, Why didn't you believe me, Jungkook? The sound of tires screeching was the last thing he heard before everything turned black. Hospital 3 hours later, Jungkook's phone buzzed and Leslie unknown number. Jian Jungkook, your fiancé was brought to the emergency room. Hit and run case. Jungkook froze. The world title beneath his feet. Jungkook, what? Within minutes he was speeding through the streets. His mind was spinning, his heart in his throat as he entered the hospital. Jimin stood at the reception desk. Eyes red. Jimin, he is in surgery. The doctor said there is internal bleeding. Jungkook, barely able to breathe. Why didn't he call someone? Why was he alone? Jimin snapping, because you threw him out, Jungkook. His shout echoes the hall. Jungkook's legs go out. He sat on the bench, hands over his face. Jungkook, I didn't know. The door opened. Mrs. Jan walked in, supported by her nurse. She looked weak, but her eyes were full of determination. Mrs. Jan, you fool! Jungkook, Yuma. I, Mrs. Yan, it wasn't Taehyung. I tried to tell you. Minso slapped me. Taehyung tried to protect me. Silence. Jungkook felt something inside him shattered. Jungkook, I threw him out. Mrs. Yan, he begged you to listen. Jungkook, he is hurt. Because of me, his mother gripped his hand. Mrs. Yan, then fix it, Jungkook. If you really love him. Hours passed. The doctor came out. Doctor, he is stable. You can see him. Jungkook rushed in. Taehyung lay on the hospital bed, pale, wrinkled with an oxygen mask. Jungkook dropped to his knees beside the bed. Jungkook sobbing, I'm so sorry, Tae. I failed you. I didn't protect you. I didn't believe you. He gently took things and kissing the clutches. Jungkook, please wake up. Yell at me, hit me, just open your eyes. And as if his heart heard it, Taehyung stood. He opened his eyes slowly. He looked around, then at Jungkook. Taehyung, don't cry. Jungkook, Taehyung, you didn't believe me when I needed you the most. Jungkook, I know, I was wrong, so wrong. Please let me fix it. Taehyung looking away. Some things can't be fixed. Jungkook gripped his hand tighter. Jungkook, I love you, Taehyung. Please don't leave me. Taehyung softly, I already did. Next morning, airport. Jimin rolled Taehyung's suitcase behind him. As they reached the gate, Taehyung wore sunglasses to hide his tired eyes. His heart ached, but he couldn't stay where trust didn't exist. As they prepared to board, someone ran towards them. Jungkook, Taehyung, he reached him out of breath, soaked from the rain again. Jungkook, please, one last chance. Let me come with you. Taehyung quietly, no. Jungkook, don't do this, please. Taehyung, I need to find myself again. Jungkook, without you. The boarding announcement echoes Taehyung goodbye, and he walked away. Jungkook watched the love of his life disappear into the sky. 1 month later, New York City, USA. Snow fell gently outside the apartment window, coating the sidewalk in soft white powder. Inside, things sat in silence, staring at the steam rising from the untouched coffee. He had changed. The bright spark that once lit his honey eyes was dimmed. Now his hair was darker, his laughter rare, his smile almost. He still wore beautiful clothes. He still walked with confidence, still answered shyly when Jimin teased him beside. Thanks POV, I was someone's home. Taehyung thought until that someone set me on fire. He looked at the sketch pad on his desk, the pencil hovered over the blank page, but he couldn't draw anymore. Every line he started turned into Jungkook's eyes. Every outline turned into a broken heart. Jimin knocked on the door. Tae, we are gonna be late for class. Taehyung coming. He put on his long coat, grabbed the sketchpad, and left the apartment. New York School of Art people smiled when they saw him. Professor praised him. They always nodded politely, responded with practiced charm. They went back to being quiet. Being quiet in the hallway, Jimin nudged his side. Jimin, you should come to the art club. So tonight there is a guy who has been dying to talk to you. Taehyung dryly. Tell him I died in a tragic Korean drama. Jimin, Taehyung, I'm fine, Jimin, really. But he wasn't. Meanwhile, back in Korea, Jungkook stood in front of Minso's apartment, his jaw clenched. I called Jungkook, you are leaving Korea tonight and I don't want to see your face again. Minso, oh, Oppa. So you finally realize your precious fiancé didn't slap mommy? Jungkook, I will never forgive you for what you did, Minso. Minso, laughing loudly. Neither will he. She was right, and Jungkook couldn't live with that. New York. A week later, Jungkook stood in front of the glass doors of Taehyung's university. He looked around, his heart raced. Then he saw him. Taehyung walked down the hallway, coat billowing behind him, a scarf swung around his neck, hair falling softly around his breath catch, but Taehyung didn't stop. He passed Jungkook like he was invisible. Jungkook, Taehyung froze. He turned slowly, his eyes were empty. Taehyung, you followed me? Jungkook, I had to. Taehyung, don't. You have someone else to believe now? Jungkook, I believe the wrong person. I am here to fix it. Taehyung softly, coldly. You can't. Jungkook, he walked away again. Jungkook stood alone in the hallway. Days passed. Jungkook didn't leave. He rented a place nearby. Taehyung's enrolled in a short-term business course at the same university as Taehyung's. He showed up at the campus cafe every morning, silently placing Taehyung's favorite vanilla latte on the table. Jungkook never pushed Taehyung, he just stayed. Taehyung tried to ignore him, but every latte, every glance, every moment, it chipped at his cold exterior. One night, Taehyung's apartment. Taehyung lay on the couch, a sketchpad on his chest. His phone buzzed. Jungkook text, I know I don't deserve it, but if you ever feel lonely, I'm just curious. Across the street, Taehyung stared at the message. He didn't reply, but he didn't delete it either. That evening, rain poured again, just like the last night in Korea. Taehyung stood near the bridge outside campus, no umbrella, letting the drops soaked him. He stared at the sky, thinking, why does the rain always come when my heart hurts the most? Taehyung didn't hear footsteps behind him. Then Jungkook, you will catch a cold. Taehyung turned slowly. Taehyung, I don't care. Jungkook gently placing his coat over Taehyung's shoulders. Jungkook, but I do. They stood in silence for a long time. Taehyung, you made me feel like I was nothing, Jungkook. Jungkook, I know, and I was wrong. Taehyung, you broke something in me. Jungkook was trembling. I want to fix it, even if it takes forever. Taehyung looked at him for a long time, eyes unreadable. Taehyung, then don't talk, just stay. Jungkook took a step closer and pulled Taehyung into his arms, gentle, slowly, with all the care he didn't show before. Taehyung let him, and for the first time in a month, he let himself cry. Next weeks were quite healing, careful. Jungkook waited outside the class, walked Taehyung home, carried his books when his hands were tired, cooked rhythm when Taehyung stayed up late working. Jungkook never pushed for a kiss, never begged for love. He just stayed. Jungkook, do you remember the day you moved into my house? You smiled at the maid and called her Emma by mistake. Taehyung smiled, small clench. She made better kimchi than your actual mom. Jungkook, I remember thinking you were too warm for someone like me. Taehyung, you were? Jungkook looked at him eyes soft. Jungkook, maybe you still are. Taehyung didn't answer, but he didn't look away. They again became silent and started doing their work. One night they were in Taehyung's apartment watching a movie. Hands bruised, then he stayed there. Jungkook leaned in just a little. Jungkook, can I? Taehyung's heart pounded, but he whispered, Tae, not now. I didn't forget you yet. You have to work hard, Jungkook. Jungkook smiled gently. Jungkook, I will wait and work as hard as I have to earn you back. Taehyung stood on his apartment balcony one morning, coffee in hand. Jungkook woke up behind him, wrapped a scarf around his neck from behind. Jungkook, morning. Taehyung, you are still here? Jungkook, I always will be until you kick me out yourself. Taehyung turned to him slowly. Don't test me. Jungkook grinned and Taehyung smiled back. Not fake, not forced. Real. His first real smile in a long time. A week later, Taehyung's apartment near the lights were dim. A candle flickered on the dining table. Were two untouched bowls of runner slowly cooled. Taehyung stood near the window, arm crossed, looking at the city lights. Jungkook watched him from the kitchen, drying his hand on a towel. The silence between them wasn't uncomfortable anymore. It was louder, soft, patient. Taehyung, why haven't you asked me come back yet? Jungkook, gentle, because I didn't want you to come back unless your heart touched to. Taehyung turned to face him slowly. Taehyung, it wants to, but it's scared. Jungkook, walking closer, then I will hold it until it's not. He reached out carefully and took it a strand of hair behind Taehyung's ear. Jungkook, can I ask you something, Taehyung softly, Jungkook, can I kiss you now? Taehyung didn't answer immediately. His eyes searched Jungkook's face, like trying to find any leftover cracks, any lies, but he found none. And so he nodded just once. Jungkook leaned in slowly, gently, like he was touching something scared. Their lips met softly. No rush, no hunger, just warmth, the kind that melts the force of silence and regret. Taehyung's finger crawled into Jungkook's and he sighed into the kiss. Taehyung whispers, I missed you. Jungkook, I missed every second of you. The kiss, they kissed again, deeper this time, lips moving with longing but still holding back, like they both knew this was fragile but beautiful. Later that night, Sit on the bed side by side, fingers tangled. Taehyung rested his head on Jungkook's shoulder, his voice low. Taehyung, I thought I would never love you again. Jungkook, and I thought I didn't deserve to be loved again. But I wanted to try. Taehyung turned his face, cheeks resting on Jungkook's chest. Taehyung, I still remember that night, the rain, the road, your eyes. Jungkook, guilty whisper, don't they? I'm feeling like die with guilt because what I did. Taehyung, it's part of us now. We can't erase it, but we can soften it. He reached up and gently touched Jungkook's cheek. Taehyung, do you still love me? Jungkook quiet but firm. I never stop it. Taehyung, then show me, not with words, with you. The night they come back to each other, the world faded as Jungkook leaned in again, this time with more intent. Their lips met slower but with heat building. Taehyung cried softly against his mouth, pulling Jungkook closer, hands explored like it was the first time. Jungkook whispers, are you sure, Taehyung? Don't ask again, Go. Clothes fell piece by piece, lips met marking his skin gently. Jungkook kissed every scar, every part of Taehyung. He had meshed down his neck, across his chest, over his ribs, slow, relevant. Full of silence apology, Taehyung urged into the touch, sighs escaping his lips like a song. Taehyung, touch me. Like you mean it, Go. Jungkook hustled. I'll wish her, baby. Under the dim lights, they moved together, a dance of fire and healing. Jungkook wasn't rough. He was focused, tender, letting Taehyung feel safe, letting him control the pace. Whispers like, I love you, baby. You are mine, Tae. I'm here, love, always. You feel like home, Tete. They stayed tangled in each other's arms until their hearts stopped racing. And in the quiet afternoon, Jungkook took Taehyung under the blanket and pressed a kiss to his forehead. Jungkook, sleep, I will be here when you wake up. Taehyung nodded, eyes heavy with heart, but heart light. For the first time in months, he drifted off peacefully. The morning after Taehyung woke up to the smell of pancakes and strawberries, he sat up sore but smiling. Jungkook came in wearing Taehyung's oversized hoodie, holding a tray. Jungkook made your favorite. Taehyung grinning sleepily. In my hoodie? Jungkook is smirking. It smells like you. I'm keeping it. They sat together, feeding each other, laughing between bites. Taehyung, you have changed. Jungkook, I had to. I lost you once. I wouldn't make the same mistake. Taehyung leaned in and kissed the corner of Jungkook's mouth. Taehyung, then don't lose my trust again, Go. Jungkook, never. Central Park. 1 week later, they walked through Central Park, hand in hand, rap and sunshine. Jungkook carried Taehyung's camera. Taehyung carried Jungkook's heart. They stopped by a frozen lake. Taehyung laughed when Jungkook slipped on ice. Taehyung, careful, old man. Jungkook, yeah, I'm only 2 years older. Taehyung grinning. Exactly. Jungkook leaned in and kissed the tip of his nose. Jungkook, you are really happy again. Taehyung, not just happy, I'm whole with you. They took a photo, smiling arm across around each other, pulling each other more close. The past was still a scar, but now it was just proof they had survived together, that if you can change and learn from your biggest mistake, you can get a second chance to prove yourself, to find your love again. the end. So everyone, how was it? Comment me down. I hope I did good with the request and match it with your expectation. Whatever you feel about it, comment me down. And requests you have made, please wait for it. I'm working on it and upload it one by one. So yeah, wait. And if you have also anything to say to me or any request, comment me down. Bye bye. Purahe.